Hey everybody, Kennis here. Hope you're doing well. I am filling up my car with gasoline, so I thought I'd take a minute, make this vlog. An interesting thought. First of all, I have a confession to make. I broke my own rule a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to confess it to you and admit it to you. My rule of practicing before a rehearsal. Our church is in a series of transition right now where I don't really want to, but I'm playing drums. Which is not my primary instrument, and I'm more of a guitar player, but I do know how to play drums. But we had a rehearsal. I was out of town for a little bit, and then I came back for rehearsal, and I did not have time to prepare for my rehearsal, and it was like a train wreck for me. Now, the other guys in my band, they were pretty gracious about it, but for me, I was like, man, I just feel like I can't play. Like, I'm trying to play, but I can't play what my brain is wanting, or I couldn't lock in. And I just simply I say I didn't have the time. The reality is I chose not to make time for it. We all have time for whatever is important to us, but I didn't spend the time in practice myself for rehearsal, and that was what caused this train wreck. Now, I apologized to all my bandmates, and I said, hey, listen, I admit I was not prepared for this, and I'm sorry, guys. And they were all like, oh no, it's all good. And I was like, it's all good to you maybe, but it's not to me, and it's not fair for you guys. So the second part of this video, I want to talk about something that was very, very interesting that next Sunday. So 4 days later, for that, when we're actually playing live, what had happened. I still am pretty pressed for time. So right now I don't have a drum set up in my house, so it's kind of difficult to practice. It's kind of difficult to say, all right, I'm going to sit down for an hour and work this out, or even for 10 minutes. And I ended up doing a form of practicing that I really encourage you as a musician to use and utilize a lot, and that is mental practicing. What do I mean by that? There's a certain point when you get in your playing abilities that you don't have to actually sit down with your instrument, whether guitar or drums or piano or whatever it may be, and practice. You can do it in your brain. So, excuse me, what I did was, we were playing 3 songs on Sunday, and I just went to YouTube and downloaded those, or I watched 3 videos of that song. And a lot of praise and worship music will have tutorials online. So if, like, you can type in, like for instance, one of the songs we were playing was Best For Me by Darlene Check. So you type in like Best For Me drums, or drum tutorial, drum cover, and there's a bunch of YouTube videos that'll come up. So what I did was I have YouTube Red, so I downloaded 3 of those videos for 3 of the songs that we were playing, and I just watched them when I had free time. And when I watched them, like, all right, I've got 5 minutes here, I'm going to just sit down and watch this video. Then when I was in my car, I would play the videos through my system and just kind of listen to the video. Now and then while I'm doing it, I'm practicing what I'm going to be playing. So it's like I'm making these mental pathways in my brain are being activated, and these connections are being made, and then creating that almost like muscle memory, but it's just in your brain. So like there was a couple rhythms that were difficult for me, and just me sitting and watching somebody on YouTube playing it, they did like an overhead bird's eye view. I was able to kind of like, okay, my right hand's going to do this, my left hand's going to do this, my kick's going to do this. And there were some rhythms that I could not lock into on Wednesday night rehearsal, that literally spending 15 minutes of me watching and playing at the same time, I was able to, that Sunday when we played, I literally didn't practice the drums physically, but I spent about a half an hour of all 3 songs, maybe not even a half an hour, maybe even like 20, 22, 25 minutes working on all 3 of these songs cumulatively total. A couple of them weren't as hard as the other ones. And I was able to actually have a pretty good set. And I would say that from Wednesday to Sunday, it was at least, in my mind, like 3 times better. Like in my mind, it was about 3 times better as it was in the beginning. So it reminds me, there was a study. I remember going to a lecture that my choir director made us go to in high school, and I don't remember who the guy's name was that was lecturing, but he quoted this study. Now, I don't know. I have no way of verifying this. This may be just totally BS. I don't know. But the study that he was quoting was how basketball players, they took a basketball team and a group of them, divided it in half, and one group went in and played, shot free throws for half an hour. And so they physically shot free throws, and the other group went in this room, and they said, close your eyes and imagine yourself shooting free throws for half an hour. So both of them doing it. And it was amazing when they brought them back in and then they shot free throws again. The group that was actually shooting the free throws was only like 1 or 2% better than the group that had gone and shot free throws just closing their eyes, pretending to do it. And all of them improved. And so it was amazing that that same kind of thing can happen as a musician. You know, if you can with a guitar know how to play a scale in your mind, you can 100% know how to play it on the fretboard. If you know the shape of a chord in your mind, you can for sure do that. If you can listen to a song that you're playing and know what chords are when, then you can do it when you are actually playing the song with your instrument. Drums are probably the easiest to do this because you can actually kind of, like, you know, I can in the car kind of imagine myself, I can even use my chest or use the steering wheel to actually play the rhythm. But even if I didn't have that, I could mentally do what I'm physically supposed to do. So anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool music thing that, you know, I've done in the past, but probably not as effectively as I did this last week, because I just simply didn't have the time. Well, I probably could have made the time, but I didn't take the time to go to my church and get on the drum set and practice physically. But I feel like that just my mental preparation had just about the same effect as if I were to actually physically go and sit down and actually play it. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully that will help somebody and help you with your practicing, and especially if you're getting prepared for rehearsals, how important that is to just mentally practice before you're going into it. And you know what? Sometimes practice can be not even just like the physical lick or the physical thing you're playing, but it's like memorizing the order of the song. If you're a vocalist, memorizing the lyrics, knowing where you're going, knowing the dynamics of a song, working those things out mentally before you get in with your band. Anyway, Kennis Russell out. Hopefully this was enjoyable for you. Hopefully it was helpful to you. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, please subscribe, hit that like button, share with your friends if you think it's applicable to your friends, and I'll see you in another video.